Hello, Elikman, and welcome to your deck review. For those of you joining us on YouTube for the first time, this is a series where I, Maldorius Houndington, look at your deck's weird little PP and tell you how to fix it. Your PP being your premise and your practicum. The premise is the idea behind your deck. It's what you hope it does on a very sunny day where everything goes right. Your practicum is the actual weather report. It's the cards you put in the 99. It's your mana curve. It's all the stuff that feeds into, does the thing you want to happen actually happen? So with Elikman, we have a commander that we have looked at before. This is Zurgo. This is a tokens rush deck. I can't remember if I looked at it in the context of a roast or in the context of a review before, but I know that we have worked on this deck before. So early disclaimer for that Elikman. Whenever I have a project that has been tinkered with for a very long time, I tend to just kind of like throw out all my previously conceived notions about how the deck should work. And so if we're still having trouble with what we want the deck to do after fiddling with it a ton, and I highly recommend anybody watching take this advice to heart, start from ground zero again. Throw out a lot of what you assumed worked well. Trying to continue to push it in a new direction, like 1% at a time, is going to take a lot of time, a lot of effort, and it is probably going to be fruitless versus taking a step back and trying to reestablish, okay, what is the first thing we have to have happen to make us happy? What is the second thing? Do we have enough cards to make those things happen? So, all that said, we have a relatively straightforward Zurgo deck that's getting clogged up somewhere. You said you had a friend play this at an event, and they complained about never really wanting to cast the commander. So maybe the curve is clogged up at CMC 3. 17? Yeah, that's kind of clogged. It's also very, very low and aggressive. I'm remembering now, one of the things we talked about last time was like the ramp was kind of also felt kind of unsatisfying. It felt like we were winding up a lot for a punch that never came. So we moved in the direction of, okay, fuck it, we're just going to curve out over and over and over again. And now the curve out's not working. So let me see just how much it isn't working. So what do we need for this to work? We need repeatable token generator. We want sacrifice outlet. And we want ways to layer additional damage. I think Path 3 has the most flexibility, right? Because stuff that repeatably makes creature tokens, very simple. Stuff that can sacrifice, very simple. So can we get that in our opening hand? We can at 4 mana. Just at 4 mana. I mean, Marionette Apprentice will do it. So I think I would mulligan this. All right, one of the stone cold best token makers in the game. It is at 3 though, so that kind of speaks to the problem of, well, why would I cast my commander on 3, right? I want to cast this guy on 3. But I think that still works fine, actually. So we did our free mulligan. On turn 2, we would play this. I am definitely feeling that clog, and I can see why it's clogged, because these are all super reasonable. Right? We're like, fuck yeah, Molten Gatekeeper. He's impact tremors on a body. We can unearth his ass. What's this guy do? Oh, very cute. Yeah, attacking tokens have death touch. For sure, for sure. So with this hand, we can turn 3 Adeline. Doesn't feel too bad. We could have tragic slipped like a mana dork in the first couple rotations if we needed to. And then another 3 CMC thing off the top rope. But also, yeah, I can see why we have it. Turn our 1/1s into 2/2s, get us impact tremors. Okay. The picture is coming into focus. So now we would go Zurgo. Almost certainly. Swing Adeline. Get 3 1/1s. Hopefully 1 or 2 of them die. We get to draw a card or 2. We spend our last mana to tragic slip something with the creature that died. That all seems very clever and good. And I don't know how many I kept. I don't think this calculus is going to be crazy important, so we'll just say 1 lived. My next turn, I can layer more damage. That's pretty important. Now I'm out of interaction. I could draw cards, although it's not particularly efficient. What I have a lot of is 3 to 4 CMC half-hearted damage improvements. Hmm. Hmm. So I don't necessarily want to bring you back onto, oh, we're gonna ramp and a core part of the game plan is gonna be ramping, but these do feel a lot like when we get to turn 5, 6, and 7, double spelling Molten Gatekeeper, War Leader's Call. Or really double spelling any of these, right? Like if instead of Midgaring we did War Leader's Call now, we do build a really hot synergy engine, but we are definitely missing the ability to point a cannon at anybody. Because like what happens this turn? We add a line again. We're gonna get a lot of pings going. We're probably gonna gain 2 to 3 life. We're gonna draw more cards. We're gonna fucking hit everybody. And then go land. So what could we double spell? We have 6 mana available to us. We can't double spell Mirkwood Bats with anything of note. Only really Reconnaissance, and maybe we would want to do that. But the point we end up at is the same. Is if we look at like the raw numbers, we have a lot of value coming down. We're gonna go make 3 tokens. We probably use Reconnaissance so we can swing him too. So make 4 tokens. Each one of those 4 tokens, our opponents will lose 8 life from ETB effects. When they die, our opponents will lose 8 more life. And we don't have a sacrifice outlet, so we can't make them die. So people are probably... Never mind, no, we sacrifice them. Oh, no, it's Adelines. It's not... the mobilized one's not the problem. It's the Adeline ones. So we've whiffed part of the sack outlet, but if we hit the sack outlet here, we're threatening 16 life to the entire table. Maybe yeah, right? Yeah, 8 to each opponent, and then another 8 because we have 2 things that would make them lose 1 when I kill something. So that seems pretty good. I think maybe the problem is our threat profile is just a little bit too linear for modern day Commander. If I go to MS Paint, and maybe I just got like a brutally lucky playtest. I don't want to spend too much time dicking around in the playtester, so Elikman, you can let me know in the comments if you're like, oh my god, that's what I've been wanting the deck to do the entire time. I think I can still identify some of the problems we're having, but our threat profile is very like, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. Every 3 drop we get to add onto this Jenga tower is going to make the plan a little bit better. We're going to add, 1 more layer of take 1 damage here, take 1 damage here. What we don't have is any, like crazy, what the green players do of like, I play a dork. I play a cultivate. I play a cultivate. I play the worm that kills you. Shai Halud, motherfucker. So what we could do to make it more exciting is we could try to identify some of the worst 3 mana pieces, or I even hesitate to say worst because none of these are bad, but the least exciting 3 mana pieces, and turn them into 5 or 6 mana Shai Haluds. Like big things that would let you threaten swingier damage. Maybe something similar to Gold Knight Commander. Another problem I'm feeling, how many things do we have tagged as tokens? We have so many things tagged as tokens. And somehow it just doesn't feel like we're finding them. Okay, now we found them. Oh boy, now have we found them. Well, I'm gonna pray this last land is somewhere. Worms Crossing Patrol. Fuck. Fuck. A Gate Instigator. Fuck. Alright, well it wasn't there. But if it was there, holy shit. Holy shit, is that the hand? But what I am struck by across all of these playtests is, even though it doesn't seem that way from looking at how things are tagged, every playtest it has felt like I have four different ways to utilize or benefit from the tokens, and I have one motherfucker doing the making of the tokens. So I think that might be something that helps with the balance of this, whether those greedy things are doublers or just a creature that makes way more tokens. It feels like I'm constantly staring at, okay, when oh, this one's different. Immediately proven wrong. Thank you, Moxfield. That feels much better. So we get to Worm's Crossing. We get to Bitterbloom Bearer. We get to Adeline. Player Commander Swing. We've made two 1/1s here. We have these myriad guys. We have another 3 tokens here. So 2, 5, 7. We have 7 tokens to swing on turn 4. That seems pretty fucking good to me. Holy shit. And then if we drop Mirkwood Bats over the top of this, we feel really, really happy. So it does seem to be an issue of we are spec'd too heavily into how do I benefit from my tokens, and not heavily enough into how do I make a meaningful mass of creatures to swing in the first place, which again seems weird because we have a million things tagged tokens. So what's in here that's like a liar? Like, I think Elegy Acolyte is a liar. Not because it doesn't make tokens, but because it's, on end step, if we fulfill the condition, we make 1. So it's more of which of these are weak. I'd say like this one's pretty weak, right? 4 mana in a deck with no ramp. It doesn't have haste. It's not making us a token until turn 5. I think we want things where I'm okay with delaying our commander by a turn, especially for something like Adeline. And that is, again, presuming that you're at tables where you cannot be safely swinging out a 3/3 if you play it on curve. That is a core assumption that I'm making here. So if you're playing at tables where, I could play Zurgo on 3, swing Zurgo on 4, nothing with no protection, nothing bad would happen to him, you can flip around the way that I'm doing these, but I'm assuming we can't afford to put old boy out into the field. So even though he makes 2, don't love it. Like, love this. Do I love this? Not like an incredible amount, right? We have to swing this naked 2/2 to get 1 additional naked 2/2. That feels... So I'm not sure. Maybe we'll go overtime, which would be horrible for my job, but who gives a fuck? Maybe we'll make a list of the ones that I think are a little bit on the soft side. Gosh, that is good card draw, though. Okay, but we're definitely a little bit off on her. Hammers of Morden are phenomenal. I really want this guy to work. Marionette Apprentice can at least make us 1. I really want to cut her. I really want to cut some of these aristocrat effects because I'm a rat who hates them. Let's try moving Molten Gatekeeper, though, because again, I'm coming at this from the position of where we actually have too many ways to benefit and not enough ways to increase the throughput. Like, I think you would have more fun making 10 tokens with 1 way to benefit than you would making 2 tokens with 5 ways to benefit. And that's kind of where I'm going to be making the cuts to assist with. Oh, that's really clever. Oh, that's painfully clever. Yeah, see, Brazen Candidate might be one of those really good synergy pieces that dies to make the deck feel better, where it's like, okay, oh, I can see all the ways this is supposed to be great, and I'm comparing it in my head to something boring like who's that white Mondrak, like the Glory Dominus, where it's just okay, this represents a lot, or not a lot. This represents a moderate amount of stacking damage, but if we're staring at a board that has one token maker and like maybe that gets removed, do we love this as much anymore? I don't think we do. So I'm gonna sideboard it for now. No, no, not you, buddy. You get back in there. No, I don't know how to move stuff back to the main deck. There we go. All right. Bombardment, I think, is very powerful. Tremors is very powerful. Thunder of Unity is Mardu. Gotta keep Adeline. So these are our sack outlets. How much do we love these is my question, because the other thing is like they're definitely gonna die anyway. All the sack outlet does is make sure that we can turn it into card draw. So maybe we would feel better if we didn't white knuckle, or if we let go of the control element of I have to be the one in charge. You know, I control the speed at which the turtles die, and we say, okay, I'm not sure where they're gonna die. And instead of being sure when they're gonna die, I'm gonna use these slots on making enough of them and making them hit hard enough that you're definitely gonna block. And maybe that creates positive space for us. So I'll try moving these two. I think Bombardment specifically still stays because it turns them on as a removal option. Whereas Bartolome and Carrion Feeder were making creatures top heavy, and it seems like they're mostly there such that we get to pick when they're going to be sacrificed. I really want Ogre Battle Driver to be good. He feels like he should be really good in here. Siege Gang also feels great. Jolly Balloon Man I think is okay because he is 4 mana. He is like, we play him with haste, we spend the 1. Let's open up that 3 CMC spot. Let's open it up. Welcoming Vampire is a really good draw engine for this too. And this is also fine to play on 4. So we've gotten 6 slots out. And I don't see us missing any of the normal. We're not missing any of the usual suspects for how you generate oodles and boodles of tokens. What we're missing out of typical token decks are, you know, the doublers and then the like 7 mana shits like Moonshaker Cavalry, Elish Norn. So if we wanted to stay on this kind of low curve plan, God, I fucking didn't change the curve at all. I just shaved. So if we take Mondrak, if we take, nope, not Elish Norn, my fault. What's her name? The angel, Elspeth. And you don't have to play these exact things I'm playing right now. I'm just trying to, you know, we can actually probably just steal from the zoo here. Oh god, another 3-drop staring us in the face. Who's really expensive? I want somebody big. Oh, I think we had this in the first version. We didn't love it, and I might be recommending you move back towards that. I think Kaisar could come in. I'm having a really hard time thinking of why we wouldn't like Kaisar here, and this is another way to increase our flexibility. It gives us one of those sacks that we want. It lets us flip 1 token into 2 tokens. Gosh, that's stupid. Gosh, that's stupid. I love it. Are there any with the Ironwool Forger as well? Another give Myriad. I don't think I love that. Interesting. Do we not have a Neem Pakal in this deck? Maybe that was something I recommended that you cut. We don't have a Neem Pakal. I feel like it should come back in. This might have to be a 1-for-1 trade with something else. Where like, I think I'm going to continue shaving from what I'm going to call utilization. I think we need more production. And if we have enough production, and what you might be missing is a little bit more broad interaction. Because what I notice, we have single target removal, single target removal, single target removal, single target removal, single target removal. So we have 6 single target removals, which is not very much. We have one piece of, okay, I board wipe other people, and it's still pretty symmetrical, right? Like, it still hits us pretty hard. What you could do to feel a little bit more agency, and again, we're really trying to assemble a pretty fair Factorio machine here, is you could index a little bit more heavily into sweepers, which would be like, oh, but I have anthems. This is going to fuck me up. This might give you a meaningful reason to less anthem, more burn. Which sounds crazy, but again, I'm trying to abandon my preconceived notions of which cards in this deck should be really, really good. Because it does feel like we have like pre-con level interaction where we're going to have one piece of interaction that we draw every single game, but I'm not confident that it's going to be the right one. I'm not confident that it's going to be a piece of interaction that makes us feel like we have agency. And so you could shave even further and just look at like Battle of Bywater, Dusk and Dawn, because it feels like a lot of what we need is we need to get to turn 5 and we need to reset whoever high rolled. Like, let me pull up that MS Paint graph again. Like, turn 5, we're always going to be right here. We know for a fact we're always going to be right there. It's not the worst place, but it feels a little bit clunky. And I think there's always going to be somebody who's like, you know, whose high variance mess around deck is going to have popped off. And we're always going to feel really, really left behind by whatever they're doing. And so we want some way to not reset the whole board. We don't need to farewell all modes, but we need to do something to take whoever's in first and just like chuck a blue shell at them. And I think these, well, maybe not Dusk and Dawn because that hits our fucking commander. Oh, it's Battle of Bywater also. Hold on. Ah, yeesh. Yeesh. They shoot our guy. That's why we don't have him. Fuck me, dude. Oh, they shoot a lot of our good guys. Okay, so we probably can't run Battle of Bywater specifically. There are sweepers. Yeah, sweeper one-sided. Could have a one-off Elspeth Sun's Champion. That actually hits the 4 that we need. You could fell the Mighty, choosing your commander. You could even run a cute little split up. I don't think you need a million of these, but I think you need some number of these. And so if we go in on those, so actually let me add those. Split up, Elspeth, Sun's Champion, Fell the Mighty. So we've cut out a lot of if have token, good thing happen. And now we have 1 land. Great. We have 2 lands, but we can make token, we can Make token. I think we can try to make that work. Okay, something's happening. We get a 2-1. We go Zurgo. Swing this cat, see if anybody blocks. They probably don't. We don't hit a fucking land. I think we would definitely endless foot assault. Send the cat again. See if anybody bites. Maybe they don't. I'm going to try to be harsh on the deck this time around. Oh, we really hate getting that out when we don't hit our land drops. So, okay, so this is why we really want to be able to control the speed at which the turtles die. Fuck it. Keep stacking that shit. Now they're 2-2s. Somebody has to be biting at this point. I don't know who it is. Somebody's blocking, and we're getting a card. That's great. Here's all our fucking lands. So now we Mondrak, and now we'll make 6 tokens, burn for 6. They're all 2-2s. Stuff, and that's with a lot of missed land drops. If we were hitting our land drops, this would be the turn where we hit the, like, I board wipe everybody who's not me gritty. What do we have this time? We get this. We get Bitter Bloom Bearer. We get a Johnny Worms Crossing. Then we go Zurgo, and we swing everybody we have. These get exiled. Oh, and we're gonna get to draw 2, so we probably draw 2 off of the Worms Crossing. Then he's likely dead. Then we burn everybody a little bit. Oh, yeah, these really hurt. These, like, they should be so good. But now that but when I look at them in my hand, I'm like, I wish you were, I wish you were another thing like Crackling Doom. I wish you were a more expensive doubler. What you may want to invest in, but that feels crazy. That feels like a crazy thing to be saying out loud. That we're like, yeah, run Zurgo Stormrender. Don't run the siege that is perfect with him. And like it is still a free token every turn. Maybe I'm not valuing that high enough, but I think what I'm mostly feeling is the plan you have generated, like the premise you want, is so fair that not having big board-wide interaction is making it impossible for it to be proactive enough. Because we could get this to a very, very strong proactive place if we were like, all right, let's fuck it up with some really good tutors so that we make sure that we're drawing our strongest token makers early. And whenever we play Zurgo to board, it's with a situation where we know we are generating like 3 or more tokens every turn. Then I think we get to a very, very good proactive place. But I think because we have avoided that to keep it in the like bracket 2 territory, avoiding board wipes and avoiding things that can solve multiple problems is actually hurting the vibe more than it's helping the vibe, because we're too, yeah, like we got to impose our will on the board somewhere. Either we got to impose our will on the board because we're doing so much, or we got to impose our will on the board by pumping the brakes on the guys that are doing too much. And it frustrates me to say that I don't feel like I have a perfect answer for how you solve that, but looking at the deck again, trying to do so with fresh eyes, clear heart, can't lose, I would say many of the playtests before I began fiddling felt like we just didn't make enough guys. it also felt like our interaction was half-hearted. And so I think the things that will fix how it feels is more ways to make buku guys, like shitloads of guys. So those are doublers. Those are things like Anim Pakal that can like sort of stack up infinitely. And then I think the things that make the interaction feel better is more stuff that hits everybody who's not us rather than just that one guy in particular. And I think if you really want to be controlling the speed at which turtles die in order to get your card draw, it should not be these creature-based payoffs. It should actually be, you know, bringing the other versions of Deadly Dispute. I know there's like a number of these. Hold on. Yeah, like Reckoner's Bargain, Village Rights. There's a million versions of these, but I would do this instead. And the place that I would always shave from first is from my lower damage burn section, because your commander is like, people really don't want to give you cards. So basically every time your commander is going to handle some degree of burn. Like in my mind, if we have to pick a place for the deck to go wrong, if you make a shitload of tokens and you don't find 5 ways to do burn, like something's going right, right? Like we have a lot of boys, we can do combat damage, we're going to draw a lot of cards off our commander, like we'll be happy some way. And so when you're trying to find room for these, I would continue to look at like 3 mana thing that is meant to make utility, or 3 or 4 mana thing that is meant to make utility but does not actually create an incredible number of guys. Because yeah, like this hand feels great. If we can find the third land, if we can find the third land anywhere, having like, okay, for sure I'm getting a token every turn. I have another mobilizer. I have something to do after my commander to start flipping it into something higher. I think that always feels pretty nice. We don't have black, but I'm going to pretend we didn't get fucked by your mana base. We're going to swing this. Right, like then we drop him. We attack with the 2 tokens. We turn 1 into 2 more soldiers. And we draw a card. Yeah, and then we start to like... Yeah, so I think we need to go back to some 4 to 6 mana stuff where it's like, we slam this, we're cooking with gas now. And then in your interaction section, check out a few of these sweepers to buy yourself the time to do that. So I'm sorry this one was so long. I hope that the thoughts made any sort of sense. I know we went in like 8 different directions, but I wish you the very best. I do think the deck can stay together and do what you want it to do, and I hope this helps.